There was a version of me that walked into rooms and felt invisible. No one looked at me, no one glanced at me, no one talked to me. No one cared that I was there. And I always thought that the problem was out there, that it was their fault, that if they just knew me, then they would see that I was worth paying attention to. But they didn't. And that gap between how I saw myself and how the world saw me, that almost broke me because I didn't understand it. And it was only once I started being honest with myself about why that gap existed that I was able to try and fix it. Today I want to talk about something that most guys in this space never talk about because it has been on my heart for the past few weeks and I've been really trying to figure it out in my own mind and how I can fix it for myself. And it's not discipline, it's not motivation, it's not morning routines or going to the gym. Although all of that stuff is super important, today I want to talk about social status. But more specifically, guys who feel like they're doing all the right things on paper but still walk into rooms and feel invisible. Like nobody cares about them. Because I still struggle with being that guy. Even though I spend all this time and effort on improving myself, I still walk into rooms. I still go into conversations and I feel like I don't command respect. And from my research on this topic, I found out what's actually able to fix this. And it's not the external things that I constantly used as excuses like I need new clothes, I need a new haircut, I need to be bigger, I need to have more muscle and be leaner, I need to get more money. It's not those lies that I was telling myself. It is a set of truths that I was actively avoiding. So if you're ready to hear things that you probably don't want to hear, keep watching. Because this is for the guy who's tired of being invisible. Here's the first truth. When respect is something that you need, that's when you lose it. For years, I was performing. I would go into conversations with people and I would act like someone that I wasn't just to try and please them. And you know what that communicated? Insecurity. Every single time. And people don't consciously think, oh, well, that guy seems insecure. It's just something that they pick up on. They feel that slight neediness under the surface and they pull away instinctively. The hard truth is status isn't something that you claim. It is something that gets assigned to you by the way that you behave. Specifically, if you act like someone who needs approval or not. And I know there's those people out there who say, oh, well, I don't care what other people think. You're lying to yourself, first of all. Everybody cares about what other people think. But that's not the way to actually go about it. The fix isn't to try and stop caring about what they think about you. It's to fix your reference point. You need to stop measuring yourself and other people's reactions and start measuring yourself based upon your own standards. People absolutely notice when you walk into a room and when you're acting in a way that you normally don't act and when you're trying to perform and get them to like you. People pick up on that. So stop trying to do an audition. Start acting as yourself. But first, make sure that yourself is someone that you respect. Second truth. There is a direct relationship between your tolerance of discomfort and your potential social status. And this is what has hit me so hard recently, is I've always thought that I've been disciplined. I always thought that every single day I put in work and I improved myself. But all of this time, I was doing it from a safe environment. I would walk into that gym and I knew everything there. I knew the people who were there. I knew the weights. I would post these videos online to hundreds of thousands of people and I would think, oh, well, I'm putting myself out there. But I'm recording it from the safety of my room. The places that I would go to do the disciplined act was the place where I already had social equity, where I already felt comfortable in myself. What I was actually avoiding, which is the thing that builds that social status, was novel social risk. Talking to strangers, going into rooms that I'm unfamiliar with, voicing an opinion that could get some pushback. Every single time that I was avoiding those moments, I was telling myself a story that I was small. And like I said earlier, people without knowing it will pick up on that signal. So if I'm believing in my mind that I'm small, that I'm not supposed to be here, that I'm uncomfortable with myself, other people are going to pick up on that and feel that about me. An example of just recently, the other day I was at the gym and I just felt super uncomfortable in my clothes. And I was in my mind about it. And I noticed while I was walking that I kept on glancing down. I kept on trying to hide myself. And I caught myself doing this. And I was thinking, bro, 2 weeks ago, I walked in feeling like the man. Because I had clothes that fit me good, I had a fresh shave. And that energy was so much different than the energy I was having right now. And the day that I walked in being confident, people acted differently towards me than when I was feeling shelled in myself. Status at its core is this is a person who has gone through hard things and has developed themselves and remained intact. You cannot fake that. That is only something that you can earn. So the question isn't how can I seem more confident? The question is what are you currently avoiding that if you faced it would make you more of the man that you want to be? Another way I like to put it is where is my confidence leaking? Not how can I build more of it, where is it leaking? Where do I let myself feel like a loser? Third truth. and this is one that I wish someone would have told me when I was 16. You cannot expect people to respect the line that you don't hold yourself. I used to wonder why certain people treated me like I was shit, why they talked over me, why they didn't care about my time. And I kept on looking at them like it was their fault, like if they fixed themselves, then it would be different for me. But the real answer was inward. The problem was I wasn't holding my own standards. I would say that this is something I'm going to do every day, and I wouldn't do it. I would say that this is something that I believe in, and then someone challenged me, and then I crumbled. I was letting small things slide over and over, and I kept on telling myself that they didn't matter, but they absolutely mattered. Because every single time that you override your standards, every single time that you go against yourself to try and please someone else, that message becomes a belief. And that belief is that you are a loser, that you are small, that you are not worthy. And when you carry that belief, it leaks into everything. It shows up in your posture, it shows up in your eye contact, it shows up into the energy that you bring into a room. And when you speak to people, especially people with high social intelligence, like women, they pick up on it. Self-respect isn't an attitude. It's not something that you just throw on. It is a lifestyle. It is something that you practice every single day, and you compound it into who you actually are. And it is not only in public that you do these things. These are things that you have to do in private by yourself, because the relationship that you have with yourself sets the stage for when you do go out in public. Start small. Pick one thing today, one area of your life that you're not going to let yourself down, and stick with it. Doing that consistently shifts something in your mind, and it makes you believe in yourself. And eventually, that self-belief is going to walk into rooms with you. So short recap. 1, needing respect is the fastest way to lose it. 2, your comfort zone is your status ceiling. 3, people won't respect your standards if you don't respect them yourself. None of this is easy, and I come on here talking about personal experience. This is something that I'm still currently going through. But once I stopped lying to myself, and once I stopped looking for shortcuts in the external world, that's when things have started to change. If this hits home for you, if you got any value from this, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk about it. Like this video if it was helpful. Send it to somebody who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more. We talk about these things every single week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.